Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here. Today I want to share with you a clip from a recent live event, and in this we're going to be talking about whether or not land pays the bills or not. Can you be profitable while operating plots of land in 2024? Do you think SPS is going to appreciate wildly? Do you like the idea of building a bag of SPS plus having a revenue source for SPS long term? That's really the mindset, more than can I earn today. We'll talk more about it. I want to come at it from a few different angles, but I'll tell you, I'm earning about 120 SPS per day in Splinterlands. The production on the screen here says 34% capacity, which means it's roughly 2 full days of harvesting. And I have 7 plots of land being utilized, 3 of which are epic in order to produce SPS. That's a consequential and expensive setup cost. And I'm earning 120 SPS per day. If you want to look at the zeros and ones of that from, my ROI on the day or the week or the month, you're going to lose. But if you have a long-term vision for what Splinterlands might be, and if you also like the idea of just building a passive factory for more SPS, and you're sitting on cards, and you like the multipliers on the plots of land themselves, the picture starts to come together where you might justify this investment. I want to talk more about it in the video. I hope you stick around. Thanks so much for the question. Have an amazing day, guys. God bless. Can you make money with land? There seems to be a lot of taxes, transportation fees, maintenance fees, salt fee, etc. Good question. I do think you can, but the question with respect to making revenue with land has to be brought back to like the bigger, broader question of timeline. What is your time horizon for this? Like, are you fixated on making revenue streams today that are going to outgrow or outpace your expenses? That's the question. And, if that's your vision, like you want to daily today in 2024, March, profit significantly from your land production, then I think you are going to come at it from a place of generating grain. And grain doesn't sell for very much. So you can figure out how much grain you can produce, and you can figure out how much grain you need to eat, and then you figure out how much grain you have left over, and then you figure out how much grain gets sold for. Soon we're going to have a grain LP, but regardless, right now you're selling that like peer-to-peer, and there's not a lot of margin there. Or you can look at it from a perspective of SPS production. But if you have one plot of land and you're producing SPS with that plot of land, well, you got to buy grain in order to feed those workers to produce the SPS. So it really comes down to how many plots of land you got, what's your time horizon? Because if you've got 20 plots of land, you can begin to build a bit of a, like I do. I've got a bit of a like production model where I'll show you. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 of my plots that are not yet launched out of 38. So 26 have been launched and one of them's under construction. And then from that, as you can see, I've got many that are grain. More than half of them are producing grain. Then I've got a few research and several SPS. That's the sort of layout that you're going to need if you're operating a similar approach. Now, if you just approach it from grain and then sell your excess grain, you're going to realize a small profit, but it's going to be so insignificant as you compare that to the cost of your plot of land, the cost of the cards you put on the land, the DEC you have to stake, the power source you have to buy, etc. There's a huge cost to getting even a cheap plot of land up and running. If I go into buy land, the cheapest plot, $26, but then you're going to have to spend something like $50 worth of DEC and maybe $50 worth of cards to make that thing work. Something like that. Maybe it's a little less, but you're talking $70 to $100 worth of cost to launch a plot of land that's going to produce a little bit of grain or maybe a little bit of SPS, which you need to buy grain for. Oh, no, I'm good. I thought I was queuing up a match. So I guess I'm saying if you want to, profit today, that's not going to be the play. The best play for the person who really is looking at revenue streams is going to be speculation on a crypto token. And that would mean maybe you buy SPS, maybe you buy vouchers. You want to think these things through and make your own decision. But, we talked about how vouchers are being used now for energy. Is there a play wrapped up in that over the next few days or weeks where, it's currently selling for 4 cents, but maybe it goes to 5 or 6, then you sell for a little bit of a profit? Is that a thing that you would that would move the needle for you, that you would be interested in? If so, you'd really want to look at the tokenomics of vouchers. Are you interested in SPS because one, you like the game and you want to be here for a long time? Do you think that there's really a reason to start believing that SPS might go, back into 3 cents again soon because of what happened with Bitcoin or with the Ethereum, etc.? If you start to build that case, and maybe the speculation is really just buy some SPS and hold it. Because I do think, land is going to cost you a significant cost to set it up. And you're not going to realize that return in a short period of time. We're probably talking a combination of future price appreciation for the plot of land, plus future price appreciation for the SPS token that you might garner from the land before you're ever going to say, wow, that land really paid me something. So for me, the answer is yes, land will reward you. Yes, it is financially, viable. It's paying me significantly, but that's because I look at these resources and these assets across a long time horizon. I'm not trying to expect that the tokens would be sold anytime soon. I'm okay with holding my SPS, growing my SPS. I'm okay with, acquiring research on my land or grain. I'm just stacking grain. Like I'm up to 1.7 million on my grain. Does it have a huge value right now? No, but I do think it will when we see land 1.6 and 2.0. These big changes are going to produce, in my mind, expected profits. And so that's a long answer to your short question. I think there's probably better ways to realize short-term gains, but there's a lot of speculation within short-term gains. I don't want to really speculate. I want to look at the big picture and sort of set myself up for a long-term positive growth with the game of Splinterlands. Because to me, this is revolutionary. It's not just like a trivial, like whatever. It's like, this is a special, totally different thing where you receive reward for your time and attention. And that's new and cool. And I'm about it. Thanks for the comment.